a lot of times, you know, more people think that they need motivation. And I don't think that's the case. Sometimes I think we got too much motivation and lack clarity. You know, what happens when we just stop and pause for a second? Stop trying to listen to all the self-help, motivation videos on YouTube and reading the self-help books. What happens when we just stop and seek clarity? Sometimes we have too much motivation and we don't have clarity. I think that's where a lot of people get discouraged. That's where a lot of people lack the depth and consistency in whatever endeavor they're trying to do. It's cold as hell outside on some days, but yet I'm here. I didn't have any motivation to do this today, and I dreaded coming out here, and I waited till the last minute. I procrastinated, but the clarity that I had after I decided, what was I gonna feel like after I put my best foot forward? Cold, shivering, not warm enough. What would that look like? I knew that I would be satisfied with myself, that I did my best, that I would feel a sense of accomplishment because I didn't give in to my ego and my lower self. What would that look like? That looks like this. Me continuing to do the work, me exploring, challenging myself, and challenging me to be the best version of myself. I was on the phone with my little bro, not my little biological brother, but it's ice, y'all. Almost was a casualty there. But I was on the phone with one of my bros from the lodge, and he's a lot younger than me, and he's going through some things. He's trying to figure it out. He's trying to become what he wants to be while living in this reality of Earth where, old people don't listen to the young people. And young people don't listen to the old people. When everybody seems to be a thought leader or have their own platform. He's one of the go hug a tree types. He thinks that spirituality is going to be his out. Is going to give him the understanding that he's looking for. And I'm not saying he's wrong, because maybe he's right. We all have to learn to stop judging and to learn to start accepting people for where they are on their journeys. We have to meet people on the level. And it's one thing that I'm learning, not to be too judgy, not being the big brother type. We all need big brothers, but sometimes you gotta let your little brother fall and bump his head. And be there to be like, not I told you so, but more so, all right, what we learn from this, and how can I get you back on track? Sometimes it takes that. Not I told you so. No one wants to hear that. But what if I told you had everything that you need right at your fingertips? Would that be enough for you to continue on, to keep going, even when no one's looking? Oftentimes we forget what's right at our fingertips. We forget what we have. We forget the little that we have without needing the big fancy equipment or the extra stuff here and there. We didn't need all that. All we needed was a chance and an opportunity. And we forget how delicate and precious we treated that from the get-go. I got a chance and an opportunity to make a video every day. Imagine how many people wish they had an iPhone or a little tripod and a little light to get their point across. It's a minimum to me, but think about the people who just are dying for that. What about the little things in life that we take for granted? You never know what someone else is going through until you ask. 9 times out of 10, a person is willing to open up and confide in you since you asked, since you want to know. Sure, I'll confide in you. Are you really listening? Are you listening to judge and criticize? Are you listening intently to see how to come up with solutions and strategize with that person? It's a cold, cold world that we live in. Literally and figuratively. Brr, it is cold. But you never know what people's motives are, you know. You can confide in someone, pouring out your heart to them, and then they turn around and stab you in your back and use it to their advantage and your detriment. And now you're like, bro, like, I don't trust people now. And it's a terrible thing that, you know, we have to go through that to be vulnerable and not and force ourselves to trust people, even though we know nothing good of it isn't going to come. It takes a real set on a person to be like, yo, I know I've been done wrong before. I know how it feels, but yeah, I'm still willing to try to force myself to become something that I'm not. You know how much willpower it takes, how much guts and gumption you have to feel that way and experience that, even though you know what the outcome is going to be 9 times out of 10, most likely. You know it's going to happen already. You know, I think if we just took the time to just sit back and say, how much more do I need to be motivated? The music motivates me, the speeches motivate me, my haters motivate me. But when do you say to yourself, what about the clarity? What about when I know that if I continue on doing X, Y, and Z, it's going to lead me down this path, but yet I still do it? Yet we have that clarity, but we fail to do anything with it, rarely. It's like having the keys to all the answers to the test, but yet you never get a perfect score. What's up with that? That don't make sense. I mean, if you think about it, it really doesn't. How is it that we could literally have the answers to the test, but yet we fail it time in, time again? Let's go over some quick notes here today. I don't know, y'all. It might not be a full half-an-hour video today because it is cold family. All right. Motivation is unbearable. Oh, sorry. Motivation is unbearable. What I mean by that is, again, you pumping yourself up. You trying to find motivation in every little subtle thing, but yet you're not being fulfilled. And when you're not becoming fulfilled, it's more so like it's unbearable. I mean, it's unbearable to keep having to wake up to be like, oh yeah, let's get going. It's like that shiny object syndrome. You keep dangling the carrot in front of you, but knowing you don't want it. So ask yourself, what is it going to take to become the best version of yourself just by being you and not forcing yourself to become what society wants you to become. What is it going to take? When are you just going to go into yourself and say, look, this is what it's going to take. I know what it's going to take. And I'm willing to do whatever it is called upon me so that I can reap the benefits and blessings that are only going to come my way if I continue to put in the work. Some of y'all don't know what it's like to put in the work. Y'all want it ready-made and just hand it to you. Don't work like that, people. God don't work like that. This ain't some hot and ready, some Little Caesars pizza. No, this is real crust, real dough that's mixed together, real ingredients, pieces to the puzzle. Let's see here. When you have options, you have too many escape hatches. And what I mean by that is, the more options that you have, the more reasons you give yourself, or opportunities that you give yourself to back out, to forget what the goal is that's supposed to be at the forefront of your mind. So like for instance, today, it was snowing earlier, and I told myself, just get up and go. You know what I'm saying? Just get up and go outside, just shoot your video, you'll be back in 30 minutes. But then I waited, I got tired, I'm doing work, hopped on the calls, X, Y, and Z. And that's what, I'm here now. And it's super cold, the temperature has dropped. But if I would have just listened to myself, it would have been a different story. But that's neither here nor there. When you give yourself options, you're going to take the lesser route, the easier route. Just think about it. In every scenario of your life, it usually happens that way. Let's see here. And in the same token, fewer options equals clarity. When you take away the ability to have 4 different options to choose from, and you only have 1, maybe 2, it forces you to focus in and dial in on the destination or the end goal in mind. It forces you to do that. To where you can't debate yourself anymore. You just know what the target is and how to get there and how to move about. It's not up for debate. Let's see here. Commitment simplifies life. When you reassure yourself every day that you're committed to your journey, to your end goal in mind, it provides clarity. You literally say to yourself, there's no room for debate. It's you versus you. At the end of the day, you know what you gotta do. And when you don't do it, you have no one but to blame but yourself. So ask yourself this. If I'm not getting the results that I want and need, who did it? Not the political party, not the church, not Uncle Sam. Me. I did it. Ask yourself that. Who created the monster that you're looking at in the mirror? Who? Once you have clarity on that, now you can start to unravel a lot of different areas of your life and see for the most part, where you've gone wrong, what you've done right, and where you're headed. In order for a man to know where he's going, you gotta first know where you've been. What has allowed me to get to this point? What has caused me to be in my current conditions? Who's responsible for that? Who let me down? Who did any of that? And once you can identify with that, you have a lot more success. Yeah, this is only gonna be maybe a 20-minute video, y'all. I literally can't feel my toes. I should have put on my heated socks. But personal reflections. So for me, when motivation ran out, and I started removing distractions, that looked like removing alcohol, removing pornography, removing the toxic diet, the junk foods, removing certain people from my life, removing certain things that didn't mean me no good. It was a combination of everything that led to a lot of detriments of society. But yet, a lot of people are just so confused of what that looks like and are afraid to even be real with themselves, what that looks like. We often worry about what people are going to think about us, how people will judge us, but we yet say to ourselves, man, I did this to my own self. I shot my own self in the foot. I did the Plexico burst. We often times are just miserable and are afraid to admit it. We are living in a constant loop of thoughts and emotions and feelings, but we yet catch it and stop it when it becomes a thought. Today, I challenge you to break the thought loop. Get out of your own way and continue to ask yourself, what am I doing on a daily basis that's moving me toward my goals? Did I get outside today to get some fresh air? Did I eat clean today? Did I eat more fruits and vegetables as opposed to snacks? Whatever it is, your life don't have to look like mine. Maybe it's you, if you do a pack of cigarettes today, maybe it's you just having 3. Or maybe it's you having, I don't know how many is in a pack, but maybe it's you doing half of a pack. Whatever it is that's causing you strife in your life, maybe you just cut back. Maybe it's hard for you to just go full turkey, cutthroat, and just get it all out. Maybe you can't do that. You're not there. Someday you will be. But for today, you're saying to myself, I'm starting with today, and I'm just going to cut a little bit out at a time. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to meet you where you are so that you feel supported. In the comment section, put what you struggle with and what you're cutting out of your life. What does that look like? Be honest. No judgments on here. We all struggle with something. But it's for you to identify with yourself. No one else. You. And imagine the moment when you are just vulnerable and honest. Imagine what that does to someone else. Who are you inspiring? And why do they deem you inspiring? It's only a matter of time before it catches on and someone thinks that your content or your story is valuable or your messaging help them. You know, here it is. This is day, I don't know what day we're on. What, 14? I have 7 subscribers. I have a little bit over 20 watch time hours. Am I where I need to be or want to be as far as the YouTube journey? Maybe. Maybe not. But I'm getting up every day and I'm figuring it out. The algorithm is finding my community. And it's going smaller and smaller every day. But I look at it as if I'm getting dialed in. And at some point, the right community will find me and my content. And then at that point is when it'll get distributed to the masses and the people that need to know who I am. So, as I always say, take what you want that you liked, leave what you didn't. And from that point, all I can say is, I love y'all. I hope that you found today's video valuable. And from here on out, starting to question what motivates you and start to seek clarity. As always, love, and I wish y'all nothing but the best. I'll see y'all on the next one. Love, squad.